Thanks for joining us. I'm Leanie Lambrink. We begin tonight in Nunavut. Consultation about a hydro project is underway in Iqaluit and Pungnuktu. An Inuit-owned clean energy company wants to build a water power plant outside of Iqaluit by the Kugeluk River. It's one of the infrastructure projects Prime Minister Mark Carney said last fall he wanted to see fast-tracked. People living in Pungnuktu haven't been holding back with their concerns about it. And as the CBC's Bianca McEwen tells us, there are disagreements about the community's involvement in the process.
There's misinformation surrounding what support Pangnuktu's Hamlet, Hunters and Trappers organization, and residents have given Nunavut Nuki Sauteets Corporation's hydro project, according to Johnny Mike, an MLA. He says he has many environmental concerns about the project.
There's abundance of wildlife in that area that will be negatively impacted. We depend on the fish like char for recreational and commercial.
Mike is concerned for commercial fishery businesses who rely on the Kugeluk River, the proposed site. He also is concerned about the impact survey being done. Mike says QIA supported Kugeluk as a location for a survey without consulting Pangnuktu Mute.
The Pang people at the meeting last year never supported the survey. I also did not support it to a point where I thought that survey wasn't going on, but it happened in Kugeluk this past summer, and it was kind of mind-blowing.
Jess Puddester is the manager of strategy and engagement at NNC. In May 2025, she says NNC met with the Hamlet and HTO and received good feedback for doing the impact studies. She says NNC is listening to concerns and is working to see what the impact of the project could be.
There's many years before we come to a decision point around if this project proceeds. It's early in the process, we're only studying, and we can't be in a position to even ask Inuit if it makes sense to proceed with this project until we've brought together all those very valid concerns and we've studied them.
Now, Puddester says they will validate these concerns before going to Inuit leadership at QIA and QC for direction. Mike says he does support the clean energy project, he just wants the Kugeluk location to be changed.
We know the survey can be repositioned to another location in the perimeter of city of Iqaluit.
Puddester says studies started in September 2024 looking at the river flow at Kugeluk. That data will be shared in public information sessions in early March. Bianca McEwen, CBC News, Iqaluit.
Some people in Whitehorse are reacting to the federal government's new food affordability measures. Prime Minister Mark Carney announced yesterday that his government will raise the GST rebate by 25% for the next 5 years. The CBC hit the streets in Whitehorse to ask Yukoners what they thought, and here's what they had to say.
The dollar has been not doing that well, and I just feel like Canadians have been complaining, that at least from what I've heard, about the high cost of living everywhere, and just how it's hard to buy groceries, and with all the prices increasing everywhere, it's just hard to get by. So that's great news and exciting.
People who live on very low incomes, last year they lost their carbon tax rebate. Even though they're not driving, they still got the money in their account. And now this year, there's a little something for them that they didn't have last year.
It's kind of out of line with northern residents. We've been waiting for a northern residency increase in our northern allowance. And so the GST rebate is just a small drop in a bucket. I have 4 children. I live in the Yukon. Every day we can see that the costs are, rising at such an exuberant rate. It's okay, but it's not really beneficial to us in the north. We really need serious financial help.
Those northern resident and northern infrastructure is what should government be focusing about, and I think the decision is not, I'm not against it, to be honest.
I'm really happy to have some extra money in the bank. Everything that's lost out of my bank account, I feel. So it's just a good news story for me and the people that I work with, because I do volunteer tax returns, and they're gonna be some happy people.
I think it's a good step forward, but I don't think it's enough, definitely. I don't think it'll ever be enough. to be frank, but I think it's a good step in the right direction.
All three territorial premiers previously told CBC News that they would be discussing infrastructure gaps in their jurisdictions when they meet with the Prime Minister this week. In the Northwest Territories, the Dene Nation has officially voted to update its constitution. Sarah St. Pierre has more now on what's at stake and what happens next.
It's work that has been underway for years, but because there has been a lot of turnover among chiefs and the political context has changed so much, Dene Nation feels like its constitution is overdue for an update. One key topic in the conversation, making sure it accounts for self-governance.
Now we started getting self-governance into the fold. It hasn't dealt with how it deals with that. I think there's room for a nation to advocate for us so that we're working together. I'm just a messenger on what the elders tell us, and the elders tell us that there's a lot of power in having a lot of numbers and having people work together.
Not everyone sees things the same way. The Clichon government says it does not want to use its time towards revisiting the constitution. It says that while it's helpful to have everyone around the table, at the end of the day, Dene Nation does not speak for the Clichon government.
There seems to be an agreement that unity is key and crucial. I will point out that as long as discussions is focused on the incorporation documents and the constitution bylaws of Dene Nation, we will most likely keep the status quo as Clichon government.
The resolution to update the constitution has passed, and between its wording and what leadership had to say, it does look like there's a will to make sure land claims and self-governance are accounted for by the new constitution.
We will most definitely share it. If people want to use our agreement, it's open.
There is no clear timeline yet for when we can expect to see an updated constitution. For now, Dene Nation has put together an 8-step plan. The work starts with assessing priorities and areas for improvement before making recommendations to the executive team and developing a budgeted work plan. Sarah St. Pierre, CBC News, Yellowknife.
Nunavut RCMP have released images of a suspect connected to a break-in in Iqaluit. Police say the incident happened at Hydroelectric Energy Corporation's office around 5:30 in the morning on January 10th. A single suspect was caught on CCTV stealing a white safe using a blue dolly. Police say the suspect was wearing a black puffy winter jacket that was possibly turned inside out, as well as a hat or face covering with a white logo. The Hydroelectric Energy Corporation previously said some paper-based customer records containing personal information may have been accessed during the break-in. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Iqaluit RCMP. Yellowknife RCMP say they're investigating a French daycare in the city. 3 staff there have been suspended over allegations of misconduct. In a letter to parents last week, Hydroelectric Plein Soleil said it suspended 3 staff members with pay on December 18th. The daycare is conducting its own investigation into the incidents. Yellowknife RCMP's Specialized Response Unit now has an active investigation into the matter. Police say no charges have been laid and they aren't releasing more information. The daycare's board says it can't reveal any details about the allegations for privacy reasons. With anti-Semitism on the rise in many parts of the world, concerns are growing about it spreading in schools. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson looks at what Canada's biggest school board is doing about it.
At the headquarters of the Toronto District School Board, the biggest school board in the country, a bunch of grade 6 students got a very special opportunity on the International Holocaust Remembrance Day. They got a chance to meet the author of the book To Hope and Back, about the journey of St. Louis, a ship carrying European Jews that was turned away from a number of countries, including Canada. They also got a chance to meet the daughter and granddaughter of a woman who was on that ship. They got to see some of her personal belongings, all of this in hopes of forging a personal connection.
I really think it's an important way for kids to connect to history and to understand the message, which is You know, you can't say it's not my problem. You can't say none is too many, which is what Canada said at the time.
I don't know how to describe it, but you kind of understand it more, and it feels a lot more like it actually happened.
A lack of awareness about what happened in the Holocaust was already a growing problem in Canada, especially among young people. But now that problem is compounded by rising anti-Semitism. Just earlier this month, a 14-year-old Toronto area boy was charged with disseminating anti-Semitic materials. A study commissioned by the federal government last summer about anti-Semitism in Ontario schools had some startling revelations. About 40% of respondents, that's Jewish students and their parents, said that they've been subjected to Holocaust denial, Nazi salutes, and statements that Holocaust was exaggerated or should have happened. These are all reasons why this teacher says it's so important for her students to attend events like this one.
I think one thing over my tenure of teaching, we're getting further and further away from these events, and yet they're closer and closer and closer to what's happening in the world.
All in hope that kids can develop an emotional connection to the Holocaust that can be a powerful antidote to anti-Semitic rhetoric online or in real life. Deanna Simonak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
The price of gold and silver has been skyrocketing. Nisha Patel looks at what's driving the rush to invest in precious metals and at the impact it's having on businesses and consumers.
Gold and silver are on a record-breaking run as investors rush to snap up precious metals. Gold soared past $5,000 an ounce for the first time ever. The price has almost doubled over the past year. Silver crossed $100 an ounce. It's up more than 270% since last January.
You know, if you have an ounce of gold or a kilo bar of gold, you have something physical that is widely considered to have intrinsic value.
That's why investors turn to gold when the economy is uncertain. And lately, the geopolitical shocks have come fast and furious. From U.S. tariffs upending global trade to intervention in Venezuela and threats against Greenland.
You know, in the New World Order, you want something that is not under the influence of governments. And, you know, I think precious metals do fit that bill.
Central bankers are moving away from the U.S. dollar and are buying more gold. So, too, are Chinese households looking for alternatives to investing in real estate. While some experts predict precious metal prices could rise even further, others warn that's not a guarantee.
If you are buying in at this point, you have to understand that many others have already done so, and so valuations are extremely high.
It's the latest change for Sue Henderson, who owns a small Toronto-based business selling custom gold and silver jewelry.
First there was COVID, then there was the tariffs, and then there was the rise of both gold and sterling silver. Not to mention the weather, it's been challenging.
She held off on raising prices last year in an attempt to attract customers. But now with the cost of her raw materials climbing, she has to adjust.
But the prices are so high, we can't ignore it. We will be raising most of our real gold prices in the next couple of weeks.
Because there's no telling when this gold rush could end. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
If you experienced harm while admitted to a federal Indian hospital between 1936 and 1981, you might be eligible for compensation. The claims period is now open. Free supports are available to help you submit your claim. Learn more at www.ihsettlement.ca or call 1-888-592-9101.
Where does bravery live? In Marie-Philippe Poulin, who went from playing in a boys' league to trailblazing a pro women's league. And in Cynthia Appia, who refuses to let the high cost of sports slow her down. It lives inside Piper and Paul, who use every fall as a chance to bounce back even higher. Where does bravery live? Inside every Canadian, in the moments that define us.
This
January on CBC TV.
I am all over this party.
It's officially cancel your plans season.
Can't even put your arms down.
Turn up the heat with unforgettable drama.
You know, once we do this, there's no going back.
Unstoppable laughs.
Get up.
Family favorites.
Let's play the tune, everybody.
And gripping mysteries.
How gruesome, indeed.
This January, find everything you need to see.
Exactly, for sure.
On CBC TV. And stream anytime on CBC Gem.
I'm heading to the African continent and across the diaspora to speak with activists, artists, athletes. I'm Amanda Paris, always pushing the conversation forward. And this is For the Culture.
Are you serious? And shuffles off upstairs, all secretive.
I find the process therapeutic.
Coronation Street on CBC TV and stream on CBC Gem.
In Labrador, the Nunatsiavut government is working on a new Inuktitut strategy. The goal is to strengthen and prioritize the use of the Inuktitut dialect across the region. The strategy aims to change how language planning is presented. 7 profiles for prospective learners are being developed. Each profile points to specific resources and programs. The government is currently holding community language engagement sessions. It says it's using the feedback to help build the strategy.
It's the primary language of Nunatsiavut under the Labrador Inuit Constitution and our land claims agreement. However, due to relocation or residential schools, changes in the educational system, it isn't as strong as it could be. And so we're recognizing that we need to put greater effort into prioritizing language.
The final engagement session will take place this week. The document outlining the strategy is expected to be reviewed in June. The official launch is planned for 2027. The Hunters and Trappers organization in Iqaluit is preparing for a bowhead whale hunt this summer. Organizers say it's an important, long-standing tradition for Inuit. The organization's chair says there's still a lot of work to do. He says these kinds of hunts take a lot of preparation.
We have to plan lots. Boats, being safety-minded, a place for butchering. It is quite challenging.
Akavak says money has already been set aside for the hunt and the organization is looking for a captain and crew. Indigenous artists say cultural appropriation is a serious issue in the Yukon. That was the focus of a panel discussion in Whitehorse Monday night. 3 Indigenous artists shared their experiences and answered questions. Here's what they said.
There's a current trend of markets and Indigenous artists who are getting their well-deserved spotlight. However, people see a niche in the market and can see a way to exploit that market. So, yeah, and the way to do that is to pretend you're Indigenous or to create Indigenous art that you don't really have any relation to and earning income that could otherwise belong to someone else.
Nobody is saying don't wear Indigenous made stuff. Like, it's a part of like an economy, and that's how a lot of Indigenous people make their money. And so, like, yes, go buy it, go to the markets and support, but like, yeah, do a little bit of research, like ask the questions, like, you know. And so like you're consuming in a way that's ethical and that's like conscientious, and like that you know that your money is going to support an Indigenous artist, which is going to support family, community, and it's going to trickle out into our communities. There's a lot of people who have a lot of good intentions, and you know, they're seeking more understanding and empathy, and like there's a lot of people who are non-Indigenous, and they want to be a good ally, they want to be supportive, they want to purchase Indigenous-made goods, and so, you know, like there's an onus on them as well to kind of ask like a maker or an artist, like, oh, this looks First Nations, like, what's your background? Or like, you know, where are you from? Like, who claims you? And like, what kind of like accountability do you have to your community? And, you know, like, I think that it's important to start asking these questions so you don't have people coming in and taking opportunities away from First Nations and yeah, just kind of like taking the aesthetics of First Nations art.
A historic first for Team Canada. Calgary's Eden Wilson has been named to the national bobsleigh team for the upcoming Milano Cortina Olympics, becoming Canada's first Indigenous Olympic bobsledder. The CBC's Terry Trembath has a story.
Eden Wilson.
With excitement fit for an elementary gymnasium, Eden Wilson is officially introduced as a member of Canada's Olympic bobsled team. When the games begin in Milano Cortina in a couple of weeks, Wilson will be Canada's first Indigenous Olympic bobsledder.
It's a responsibility that I really carry very proudly, and I'm really lucky to get to represent the next generation of Indigenous kids.
Wilson, who is Black and Métis, was born in Manitoba and raised in Calgary. She says growing up, she faced stigma, and being an Olympian was never on her radar.
A lot of my teammates, you know, they had Olympic dreams when they were kids because they saw people who looked like them competing at the Olympics. 2010, a home games. That wasn't the case for me. I didn't grow up wanting to be an Olympian. I didn't grow up with a dream to be in a sport simply because I didn't see people who looked like me at the table.
Wilson says now she takes every opportunity to promote Indigenous athletes. This year, she was inducted into the North American Indigenous Athletics Hall of Fame. Its founder says Wilson is a trailblazer in the bobsled and as a role model.
She's the prime example of I'm going to help you. What can you do? Where can you go? How can you do it? She's going out there and with all of her supporters and organizations that she works with to make this happen. I think that's so awesome as well.
If I can build my platform and kind of share my message with the next generation, that's the most important part for me.
And Wilson's message, you deserve a seat at the table. If you don't find a spot, build your own table. Terry Trembath, CBC News, Calgary.
A massive winter storm has locked much of North America in an Arctic air mass and covered several cities and towns across Canada and the U.S. with snow and ice. CBC's Joanna Wagstaff looks at the rare collision of a polar vortex and an atmospheric river that combined to create this record-breaking event.
What happens when the polar vortex collides with an atmospheric river? Well, you don't just get a snowstorm. You get a system that affects more than 260 million people across the U.S. and Canada, stretching from the Mexican border to the Atlantic coast. This is the science of how a single storm just froze half of North America. To understand it, we have to look way up to the plumbing of the atmosphere, if you will. So normally the polar vortex is a tight circular fence of wind holding the coldest air at the pole. But this winter, the Arctic was much warmer than average. That weakened the vortex, allowing lobes of cold polar air to spill south, way south. At the same time, a powerful storm developed in the Pacific Ocean and tracked towards California, tapping into a massive atmospheric river, a literal fire hose of tropical moisture. When that warm, moist air hit the heavy frozen air already in place, it was shoved upwards, the lift needed for storm clouds. And that massive temperature contrast did the rest, providing the energy for a high output snow machine. The National Weather Service wrote ahead of the storm, the Pineapple Express meets the Siberian Express. The scale is hard to wrap your head around. In the west, parts of New Mexico were buried under about 40 centimeters of snow. Then, as the storm tracked across the deep south, surface temperatures hovered near the freezing mark. Snow turned to ice, with accumulations topping 1.5 centimeters, snapping power lines and leaving over 1 million people without electricity. In southeast Arkansas, the storm dropped an incredible 18 centimeters of snow, so heavy roofs caved in. Farther north, that cold air was deeper, and the system unleashed the heaviest of the snow. A massive swath of 30 to 60 centimeters buried everything from Oklahoma to Maine. In Toronto, The storm brought an historic single-day snowfall total of 46 centimeters, with storm totals topping 56 centimeters. That pushes January 2026 snowfall to 88.2 centimeters for the city of Toronto, making it the snowiest January and the snowiest single month since records began in 1937. For context, that's more snow than Whistler has gotten in the past 2 weeks. For Atlantic Canada, this storm arrives at the end of a very long chain of events. But as the precipitation winds down, the real danger is just beginning. The polar air is now locked in place with record low temperatures all the way down to the Mexican border. If you have ice or snow on the ground right now, it's likely staying put well into February. And for the hundreds of thousands of people without power in the southern U.S., this is a life-threatening situation with homes and infrastructure not built to handle this cold. So for the foreseeable future, much of North America is locked into a pattern that's one for the record books in both scale and persistence.
That is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, head to cbc.ca/north. Thanks for watching. I'm Dene Nation. Have a good night.